Everyone, we're going to get started. Good evening. I'm not Annie Warshaw. I'm Jeff Sturbins, Vice President. Danny can't be here tonight. We're going to start with the roll call.
Bill Jordan. Nickman. Monegro. Here. Roth. Here. Shear. Here. Sturbins.
Here.
Annie Warshaw is absent.
All right, well, we will now begin the regularly scheduled public participation portion of our meeting. We have a 5-minute time limit for speakers, and we ask that you respect that time limit. Any speaker who exceeds that time limit will be asked to end their comments. This is an opportunity for the board to hear from our community, and we appreciate everyone who comes out to provide feedback for us. Please understand that this is not a time for dialogue, and the board will not be addressing each speaker's comments. We remind everyone of the expectations set forth in Board Policy 830 that all people who offer comments during public participation, and those who are here to listen, act in a civil and non-disruptive manner. We take our roles in guiding our young learners seriously and expect that the grown-ups in this community will speak respectfully in this room. There may be issues related to individual or private matters that are best addressed in other forums, and we ask that you consider that before comments are made. We remind everyone that our administration is available for assistance, and you can also address the board through email or letter. Did we have any public comments submitted online? So then, public comment, anyone who is here who wishes to do so, please come up. Please do. Hi, you can just come right up to the podium.
Hello, my name is Kaylee Field, 7th grade. I am from the theater production of Belle and that Beast Guy. I am playing the role of Steeplesby. It's so nice to be here. I'm a little bit anxious about our performance, but I think we're going to do great. I hope that you guys will enjoy our acting and that people will be respectful.
Well, thank you. That's very nice.
That was all on the spot, by the way. Not even scripted.
You nailed it.
Great.
Is there anyone else who would like to make any public comment today? No? Okay. Well then, next on the agenda are superintendent's reports, and so I will turn it over to Superintendent Renz.
Good evening, everyone. So before we get to what Kaylee introduced, which is the amazing play, we have another amazing accomplishment I want to take a minute to highlight. This is pretty incredible when you hear this number. Last week, the 7th grade boys JV basketball team took first place during the regular season by winning the Little Nine championship game versus Lincoln Hall. This team had an undefeated season with a record 13-0. This is absolutely amazing, and it's a milestone we definitely want to highlight for our young athletes. I want to give a shout out to the students themselves, as well as the leadership of Coach Jess Lustig, who we're so thankful to have. Number 1 was Keegan Smith. Number 2, Tyler Maria. Number 12, Remus Campbell. Yeah, come on up. Good idea. Number 15, Mason Obion. Number 20, Michael Rigadon. Number 22, Mason Naharo. Number 23, Ashton McLennan. Number 24, Blessin Vasip Palmondo. Did I do Blessin? Hopefully okay? All right. My apologies. Number 25, Yoni Spolter. Number 30, Micah Lee. Number 32, Alex Sy. Number 33, Muhammad Al-Balushi. Number 34, Henry Olumba. Number 45, Ashur Adishu. manager. Is it Abdullah Ram?
He's
not here, but yes. Okay. And then, of course, Coach Jess Lustig. We're going to get a photo of you. And because we know you're going places, not only the photo, we're going to get your autograph. So we need a little swag from the district office. So when we have students who accomplish these amazing accomplishments, we're going to start collecting their autographs so they can come back. We can either sell and donate it to the district, or just highlight how amazing you all are and the places you're going. So super excited. We are looking at doing this in the future, and I think we owe the soccer team some signatures from last year as well. So we'll do the same thing. We'll try to track them down too. Okay. But before we do that, let's get a photo of you really quick. I don't know how you want to do this, Ms. Gonzalez. Yeah, maybe let's do that.
Mikey, and it's.
Oh, I do. I want them to
Sure, you want me to go? Really awesome.
Should kneel in front.
How about one more round of applause for All right, who wants to start signing?
Michael.
Take the lead? You got it. You got it. There you go. We got a couple, so don't worry. Just in case it runs out. We're going to have you.
Yeah.
Come on, I can follow Principal Hanson. We'll get you set up. Take your time. All right, thanks so much, Coach. Appreciate you. See you. Thanks, guys. Congrats again. Good.
She is going to be next to
You want to go next? Thank you as well, parents, for making it.
Thank you. All right, so our next highlight this evening is our Early Childhood Center. We will be getting to the play in a minute, so appreciate your patience on that. To help us with the Early Childhood Center, we have Mr. John Sigler here, as well as a couple of his teammates. I'll let them introduce themselves, but thank you so much for being here this evening. Look at you with the swag. That is amazing.
Really coordinated.
Designed by one of our teachers. Right?
Yeah.
Great job. Yeah, thanks so much for being here.
Of course. Lisa Murphy, one of the blended teachers. Her child is in my class.
Subtle.
She wants your autograph later.
Your born teacher. I'm Lauren Sullivan, the speech path.
And I'm Dr. Martha Krolzik. I'm a school psychologist at DCC.
Okay, well, our presentation tonight is around home and school collaboration. And it is most aligned to the communication and engagement goal in the current strategic plan, but it's also aligned to our cultural responsiveness, equity, and inclusion goal, and also the teaching and learning goal, because a lot of the activities we are sending home are aligned to our early learning and development standards and are connected to the units of study that we have in our curriculum.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about our All About Me bags. At the beginning of the school year, we implement an All About Me bag activity as part of our introductory unit. Students are invited to bring 3 to 5 items representing their culture, personal interests, and family values. Kids bring cars, stuffies, books, their favorite toys, all sorts of things. This provides an authentic opportunity for strong collaboration with families straight from the beginning of the school year. It also encourages communication. Kids are really nervous. This is their first experience, and being able to talk about some of their favorite things as well as having their favorite things with them really encourages that communication. We also do total communication, so kids are encouraged to use verbal spoken language. We have core boards, we have AAC devices, whatever modality they need to share about what's important to them, we make that happen for them. And additionally, this is just a structured sharing opportunities to help students practice social communication skills like active listening, turn taking, as well as building early peer connections for peers that have similar interests.
The next one is the Reading at Home program. So an overview on that is focusing on building early language and pre-reading skills through shared reading. It encourages meaningful family interactions and routines at home. Why it matters: it builds oral language and vocabulary, which are critical before children learn to read, supports listening skills and attention span, develops early comprehension through pictures, repetition, and discussion. It encourages social emotional connections through shared stories, and it strengthens the print awareness. The program structure is children bring home books Monday through Thursday. Families spend between 10 to 15 minutes together reading. Books are familiar, engaging, developmentally appropriate for preschoolers, and the emphasis is on enjoyment and interaction, not independent reading. So the family engagement component is families complete a simple response card, which you will see, and you see the different levels that they're at. So some families are having, they write it and then the family will write it next to it. And then others are independently able to write their name and letter and tell us whether or not they like that book. Let's see, where am I at? Yes, you can go to the next one.
Yep.
The goals foster a love for books and storytelling at an early age, strengthens that homeschool connection, supports readiness for kindergarten and future reading success, and provides family with simple, meaningful ways to support learning at home. And then why it matters for the district: early literacy is a strong predictor of later academic success. Engaging families early builds long-term educational partnerships, and then it obviously aligns with early childhood best practices and developmental research. Thank you.
So I'm here to tell you about our class pet connection. So we teach through thematic units. So one of our most recent units was on pets. And so as part of this project, each class adopted a hamster and they got to name this hamster. And then the children took turns taking the hamster home. And parents were given, little guidance, but basically they were encouraged to send pictures. And then the kids would come in the next day or after 2 days and get to present to their friends as to what they did with their hamster. So it gives them a chance to present to everyone, builds confidence, and you can just see from these pictures here, it's just a sampling of the wonderful things that our children are doing with these class pets. So the little girl at the top took hers to the library and found a book on hamsters to share. This little boy decided to take his to the pet store to meet actual hamsters, which is a great idea. Maybe he bought one, I don't know. And this little girl looks like she's sharing her snack. I know that's her water bottle there with her hamster. So really getting them to engage. Next slide. So when adorable picture, yes. So when teachers design this activity, they really want everyone to be able to participate meaningfully. So this is just an example of a couple of different ways that kids were able to report what they did with their pet. So you can see that some they're able to write or actually draw. In some cases, moms and dads may help a little bit with some of this. And then in order to differentiate and accommodate for some students that may not be at that level yet, we also might send something home that has, visuals and choices on it so that they're able to communicate that. And then also that helps with the presentation so that some kids may not be at the level yet where they're just able to kind of free talk in front of their peers. But this is really just a small example of what our teachers do to accommodate and modify so that all of our learners have access and can, learn through our curriculum.
Okay, another lovely thing we do are monthly family projects. So each month we send home family projects to the students related to our monthly thematic units. Overall, these projects help build confidence, communication skills, and a stronger connection between home and learning. Families help create or document something related to the unit. You can see on the bottom picture that was our class quilt. So each kid made their own family quilt about celebrations that happened in their family, and they came together and made a class quilt about all the celebrations that happened throughout their class. Up at the that was around Thanksgiving. The kids made added pictures, did some writing, drawing with their parents about the things they're thankful for. Brought it back to class and made a very nice little turkey. Students had the opportunity to share and present these projects with the class, and that makes them very proud, and they're very excited to share their work and show their classmates some of their favorite things, what they did with their families. Overall, the students just really enjoy these family projects, and we've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the students and the parents that they love to do these together and share a little bit more about their home life at school with us.
Alright, some other ways we communicate and collaborate with our families. We do use Seesaw, which is an application primarily used to send home pictures of students engaging in learning with their families, and also pictures of student work. Some of the teachers might send home, instructions on the monthly projects through Seesaw as well, because it's also an application for, posting assignments and things. Parent Square is our district communication, but I use it for my weekly newsletter that Jill and all our families get, and each teacher has a weekly newsletter that goes out through Parent Square as well. The parents can obviously message back and forth through Parent Square to their teachers or to me. Parent-teacher conferences twice a year is another opportunity where our parents get to engage with us either virtually or in person. Obviously, IEP meetings for our students with special education, which is a large portion of our preschool. We have, our curriculum is creative curriculum through Teaching Strategies Gold, and there are reports that are sent home 3 times a year. It's kind of like our report card, if you will, but we send some home at conferences in October, at conferences in February, and then one at the end of the year in May, June. And then visuals and supports for home. So this could be visual schedules that we're using at school. Sometimes parents might say, hey, I'd love to have a schedule like this for, a routine at home. And so we can make one and send it home. Sometimes it might be an example of vocabulary boards we're using in the classroom so they can help support with communication. If things are working at school and they want that consistency at home, we'll do it. Sometimes families will ask us for, hey, I'd really like a social story about this, or I'm having trouble with the bedtime routine. What can we do? We can send home some visuals or some supports to kind of help them work through that. And then the last thing is a way that we collaborate with parents, but it's also a plug. So we have graduation every year for our students who leave us and go on to kindergarten. So I know we have some new board members here, so I'm also sharing this with you because if you've not been to an ECC graduation, I highly encourage you to, because it'll light up your face and you'll have to smile the rest of your day. Jill will obviously be there this year. But please come to one or both. The times are up here. We have our morning session at 9:30, our afternoon session at 12:45 in the forum at Old Orchard, and we'd love to see you there. Kids practice songs. They're going to start practicing after spring break, and it's going to be wonderful.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want to give a special thanks to Martha, Lauren, and Lisa for presenting. I also want to just thank John Sigler's done an amazing job this year. He stepped into a somewhat new role and has really dived headfirst into the ECC. As you all can tell, the building is coming along and we'll be in it soon. Our enrollment is up this year at the ECC, and many thanks to John and the team for that work. You can see why you would want to send your child. We have 129 students this year. We're up 15 in the last 2 years, and it's only going to increase. So super exciting work. Thank you for doing it. I got scared when I saw the pets. I was like,
Not a real pet.
I don't know anything about this. I know nothing about this. But totally reassured and just really thankful. And I can't say enough, as I saw Dr. Samajeni agree, the graduation ceremony is amazing. You'll be shocked at how well behaved and structured and really career oriented they are at such a young age. We had several teachers. We even had a couple future principals last year, and no air horns, which was good. So that's always a positive as well. So really appreciate all the hard work you all are doing. So thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, last but not least, thanks to the introduction again from Kaylee with the upcoming play.
I didn't mean to, I didn't know we weren't supposed to do it yet.
You did great.
You nailed it.
In fact,
It was like a movie trailer. You teased us for it.
your foreshadowing was only enticing, so it was awesome. Great job. Principal Hanson, anything you want to tee up here before we get started?
So I'm here on behalf of the Old Orchard Drama and Theater Department. department, standing in for Mr. Ello. The show will be on April 30th. I believe it's a 6 p.m. show.
No, it's April 30th and May 1st.
And May 1st is 7 p.m.
Yes.
Kaylee is here to keep me in line.
I'm good at remembering things.
Pretty much every day. There she is.
Except when I don't.
So, students, you know the drill here. Stand up. I'm going to have them introduce themselves, tell you what their grade level is, and the play is Beauty and That Beast.
No,
Bell
and
and
this guy. No,
Sorry.
Beauty and the Beast.
10 Hut Soldier.
Thank you all. I've been with them since 3 o'clock.
Except me,
Joie de
We
vivre
were
and
so
whatnot.
much fun, right?
So we're going to go on down the line, and then you will need to sit down, Tyler and Amar's dad. But you can take their spaces because they're good to go. Take it away, Matthias.
Hello, my name is Matthias Sullivan. I'm in 8th grade and I play the Beast.
My name is Blake Sullivan. I am in 8th grade and I play Old Woman.
My name is Fiona. I'm in 7th grade and I'm costumes and makeup.
Hi, my name is Catalina Johnson. I am in the 8th grade and my role is Candle Gal. Hi, my name is Kaylee Field, as you know. Oops. And I play Snibblesby.
Hi, I'm Amara, 7th grade, and I'm playing Senorita Tito.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm in 7th grade and I'm playing Belle.
Hello, my name is Luca Urbano and I'll be playing Gaston, and I'm also in 8th grade.
My name's Emery Lillard and I'm in 6th grade and I'm playing Goofus.
My name's Emery Bird and I'm in 6th grade and I'm playing Mama.
All right, take your places.
Yeah.
They're right behind us.
And action! Once upon a time, there was a prince. He was a spoiled brat.
Hey!
He had a teacher, a mysterious old woman. She tried to teach him.
Did you do last night's homework?
Nah.
Why not?
I didn't feel like an old woman.
Well, it turns out that the old woman was a witch, and she cursed him.
I can't take it anymore. Alakazam!
She cursed the beast to be a furry monster until he learned his lesson.
Hey, what the?
Her curse even affected the prince's servants. Costume change.
Which just seems mean. Anyhow, many years passed before the prince, the beast, found a change of heart in the most unlikely of places. France.
Oh man, how is Quasimodo gonna get out of this one? Another great chapter, Victor.
Were you talking to me, Belle?
No, Mama, I was just talking to my book and its author, Victor Hugo.
Well, that's odd. I just came to tell you I'm going to the Dairy Queen.
Is the one in town?
No, the one in the dark and spooky woods.
Ah, Snivelsby. There she is. Belle, the woman I will marry.
That's great, Gaston!
I'm playing Asa.
10 minutes after I meet her. Here, hold my hat. I'm going in. What are you reading there? A book?
Yes, The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
That's a good one. How do you get his hunchback and who took it?
Well, I have to go now.
Where are you going?
My mom, she went to Dairy Queen and she forgot her purse.
I'll join you.
No! No, it's okay. It's too many calories.
That is true. I do have to think about my beach ball.
Yes, so I'll get going now.
I think that went well.
I'm good at waiting, aren't I?
Ah! What do you two know?
Scene!
So, I asked them to think about anything that they might want to say about what being involved play has meant to them. Not forcing anybody, but does anybody want to talk about how it's Kaylee?
So I was in the play production last year for Wizard of Oz. I got the Wicked Witch of the West, which was an amazingly fun role, and I love this role this year because I also get to be an antagonist, and I still get to scream at people, which is a plus. I love theater. I've met so many of my great friends in theater, and it's just amazing. I would like, for any like kids here, or like people who might want to do theater, I would definitely suggest it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Kat?
It is my last year at Old Orchard because I'm graduating soon. I've done theater all 3 years, and it's so fun, and I've made so many good connections with people through it. And I've always gotten so many roles, and it's so hard to memorize my lines, but it's really fun.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sophie?
This is my second show, but okay, so I was on Summer on Broadway and I didn't get a good role there. I was I'm not even gonna say it was so bad, but anyway. Anyway, I'm really glad that I got a good role in this play. And it's really short, but I think it's gonna be okay because, you know, everyone here is just so fun, and like the show and the premise of the show is just so funny, and yeah.
Thank you.
So like last year I was like the scarecrow. I don't know if you guys remember that. And then yeah, and it was just really fun. So yeah.
So last year I was in Wizard of Oz and I played the main character Dorothy. And this year I really wanted to come back, but I didn't want to do an acting role again because I felt like that was unfair, and I really wanted to expand my knowledge and learn about other parts of theater. But I definitely recommend it because it's probably the most fun I've had in a long time, and the people are great, and everything is just so like, there's not really high stakes, and so we're all just kind of there to have fun and like hang out, and it's just a really great time.
Thank you.
So hopefully all these voices help you. Oh, we got one more. Sorry.
Okay. I've also done theater for 3 years. I did Summer on Broadway for 2 years, and I've done behind the scenes also for 2 years, and I think I'm doing it this year. It's the play at the school is such a great way to meet other grades because most of the time you're with your own grade and you only get to see their point of view, and it's just very eye-opening to like make connections with other people from different grades.
Thank you.
Oh, Emery?
I also did Summer on Broadway before I did this, but I think people that haven't done this should definitely do it because it's like really fun, and also the people are like really nice. Even though we act like we hate each other, we're having a great time before this.
Kat?
Also, Mr. Ella puts a lot of time in like doing everything, and even if you don't get like a main role, he makes sure that everyone still gets a role no matter what. This year I have like 5 roles and 5 characters to act, so it's very hard, and we have to be off book next month. That's the one thing that's hard, getting off book. Can I make a comment?
Go right ahead, Kaylee.
In the play, I have to threaten my best friend, one of my good friends, Amara's life. So, like, it might look like I hate them, but I really don't. She's my homie.
It's as Blake said, it's really fun to see other people's point of view, because it's really fun to see 6th graders' point of view, because as a 7th grader, I remember when I was so excited about coming to middle school and having new experiences.
I was scared.
And so it's really fun to see how other people enjoy the play.
Awesome.
We're going to start an improv club.
Yes.
We're going to go and sing on the comments. So hopefully some of these young voices here help you understand how much we appreciate the board's support of programming at Old Orchard. As you can hear, it does a kind of a wonder for kids at each grade level to come together and really connect in a school that, to Blake's point, is separate sometimes. Matthias, you want to have the last word?
Yeah, we love your money.
Yeah.
Matthias!
What? Somebody had to say it.
And thanks to Principal Hanson for stepping in. Oops.
Thank you all for coming.
Appreciate it. Big thanks to Mr. Ello as well, obviously helping get them prepped. I'm sure it didn't come easy.
They seem so shy.
They are nailing it. Just as another shameless plug, if you're watching, Belle and the Beast Guy, comedic twist on a Disney Tale, as you can tell, Thursday, April 30th at 6 p.m., Friday, May 1st at 7 p.m. Other important dates coming up. Tomorrow we are off school in celebration of Eid al-Fitr. March 30th is the start of spring break. It is here. I know the weather would tell you otherwise. April 3rd, we have the last day of spring break. We come back Monday, April 6th. And Monday, April 6th, that same morning, is also an important meeting. It's called Timely and Meaningful Consultation. That's hosted by the Niles Township District for Special Education. It's held at Malloy. It's for parents and educators of all students who are eligible for special education who attend non-public schools. So we have information on the website as well if anyone is interested in attending that to learn more about services available through public funds, even if they are not attending a public school. And then our next board meeting, it will be here before you know it, is Thursday, April 16th. That Thursday is the Board of Ed meeting. We had 3 FOIA requests that came in between February 14th and March 13th. The first, February 2nd, 2026, the district received a request from Dr. Noel Sullivan requesting to inspect emails between all District 68 board members and any District 68 administrators or from members of the public or any outside organizations to any of these individuals with the words Palestine, Palestinian, Gaza, or flag in them. The dates were amended to a narrower parameter inclusive of November 1st, 2025 and January 30th, 2026. The response was sent on February 17th, 2026. On February 9th, 2026, the district received a request from Chris Miller from Public Info Access LLC requesting, pursuant to the Illinois Freedom of Information Act, copies of any existing records that describe purchasing or contracting approval authority within the school district, specifically records related to dollar thresholds for staff, departments, leadership, superintendent, and the Board of Ed. If approval thresholds differ by category, please include records reflecting those distinctions. A response was sent on February 17th, 2026. And then on February 27th, 2026, the district received a request from Rebecca Bennett requesting a non-commercial FOIA for the following items: superintendent contracts from 2019 to present, administrator and teacher salaries and benefits from 2019 to present. The response was sent on March 6, 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So our next item on the agenda are board updates. Our updates will be organized into 2 categories, liaisons and committees. We may not always have an update based on timing of meeting and events, but we'll continue to revisit these items at our board meetings. First is EdRed, Emily and Shira. Is there an update this month?
Yes, it was a really good meeting.
I didn't get to go.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to distract her, so I go to all the meetings. They gave us information on what's happening at the state level, such as the biodiesel use, which is really big in schools that teach agriculture, and the student suicide. And this is part of a state law for students too. They want schools to be aware to communicate with parents. So identify examples of bullying and intervene. And then there was the transfer report, which I found really surprising. It's a bill that would require children who are at a school that is beyond their capacity, and it is the school's responsibility to find a place for that student to go, so they won't be in such an environment. Now, these have passed, SB 3913. This is the one about professional educators license. They want one in particular for deaf, hard of hearing. So that one passed, and there is SB 2918, and this is for an IEA initiative that tackles a couple of issues with parent-teacher advisory committees, and this one didn't make it. It was passed out of committee, and SB 3774, BELT, is administrative withdrawal rather than expulsion for students how they're handling truancy. It, I don't know, seemed reasonable to me that if a student is being truant, you don't punish them by putting them on withdrawal or expulsion. But they didn't ask me. And the last one, SB 3501, Morrison. This is the ready to use glue gun. These are medications that children take, and they are insisting that the families bring the medication to the principal, to the school nurse, and it is only given by those people, not the classroom teacher, not a teacher assistant. So that was there.
Thank you, Shira. IASB, Jeremy and Jill, any update?
But that's Jill
Not
and
me.
Shira also.
I'm sure it's with you.
No,
Oh, sorry. NTBSE was.
we did not meet in February, and you'll be covering
I'll be there
March.
next month, yep. For collective bargaining, we have some dates set. We are excited to start the process, and we're optimistic and think it's gonna be a very positive experience. Collaborative for curriculum, Shira and Jill, any update?
Yes.
I was not there.
Shira, you're running this.
I'm scaring them away, I think. It was an incredible meeting.
Awesome.
I just think they do such a tremendous job. With steering committee report, of course, and public comments, no one made one there. And they talked about how they are providing professional development for teachers across schools for students who are special needs students and mainstream students, and how they build it over the summer. They would start in the summer with newly hired teachers, and they get them in their professional development before they go to their school professional development. So these ties are brought together right away. Trying to think of what else. No, that was it for that. I was very impressed by that they identified these teachers and they got them to come to professional development in the summer before they had to go to work, which was impressive to me. They have a current curriculum cycle. So this isn't something where you have one session of professional development when students are missing for a half day. It is ongoing. Their teacher leaders meet with grade level, and they work with the teachers in their classroom, not just come to a meeting, give them the information, talk about it, then they follow them into their classrooms and see how it's going and give them feedback on what they are doing. And then it's another professional development. I was very surprised that they are using Fontes and Pinnell. I'm a Fontes and Pinnell fan, but everyone else has phased it out, but they're still using it and they're making great progress with it. And I think that's early release days. That's what I have from them. What did I miss? You don't remember?
No, I mean they're doing a great job. They're really monitoring the progress on resources that they invest in. So, for example, the focus on summer learning is something that they're really trying to see if it's effective, and it has been working. So, I think there's been just a lot of encouragement for us as newcomers in the relationship with CFC to see kind of where we're going to go. A lot of the data they've been presenting doesn't really reflect us yet because we're not fully in. But as we adopt a future literacy program, I think seeing how they're measuring the progress is something we can take into effect We've even talked internally about how we can work with some of the team members, maybe with the development of measures for our strategic plan. So just something that maybe is a byproduct of being a part of the relationship that is more to come on. But I think you did a great job. It was a lot.
Yeah, thank you. And then speaking of the strategic plan, Emily, Jeremy, any updates?
There were updates, but I'm sure Emily wants to do it.
Yeah, we met for a long time and it was really fun. Had a great lunch. And I can't say the goal. I can't say the things, right? That we
I want to
came
talk
up
about the
with.
pillars that are starting to emerge.
Yeah,
I have them if you want to reference.
I'll have them too. Well, the first time we met, we focused in on our values, which it cutely spelled out we are 68, which I love. So wellness, equity, achievement, relationships, and everyone. And then under that, we have instead of 5 things with lots of in there that I can't read from over here, we have 4 main chunks of areas of focus, which are the classroom. Can I read the description?
Yeah,
Okay, cool, because I really love this wording. And I feel like this sets the bar high for us, which we should be doing. And it also, I won't editorialize, I'll just read it, it's great.
Just on the
Classroom,
pillars, right?
community, culture, and care are our 4 main pillars. And then classroom is defined as we create student-centered collaborative learning environments through instruction based on high-quality curriculum and professional development. Now, all of these descriptions and all of these goals that we wrote came directly from the focus groups and survey responses and feedback that we've been looking at the whole time. So this is taken directly from that, and we didn't just cook this stuff up. And then under community, we say, we develop strong partnerships to provide the best support for students' growth and development. And when we're talking about community, we're talking about not only our school community, but our community at large. So how are we working with Skokie and parks and the village and library and other kinds of people in our community. And then culture is we build a climate where individual perspectives, backgrounds, and experiences are valued and all feel supported, included, and respected. Love that. And care is we support physical and mental health, develop empathetic relationships, and contribute to the school and broader community. So underneath that, and there are a lot of words in there that we can hook onto and look at goals, but we developed between 3 and 5 different goals under each of those things, focusing on different things. So care for each other, for ourselves, for our community, for our students, for staff and teachers. Culture is a lot of internal culture building and who do we want to be and how do we want to interact. Mostly when you're looking at culture is how do we take those values and then operationalize them? So when we talk about wellness, equity, achievement, relationships, and everyone, when we're operating in this aspirational way, when we're looking at our own culture, hiring, firing, evaluating, talking, meeting, working with each other, how do we take those values and really make those lived experience for everybody? And then community, we have a lot of work to do there, especially with the village just releasing their strategic plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, classroom, we know we're always looking at that too. So I'm just really excited about where this is going. And of course, do we have another opportunity for feedback on these things?
Yeah, so the committee felt like we needed a bit more staff weigh-in. So returning from break, the staff will have an opportunity. It won't be too laborious. It'll be a very brief anonymous survey that we'll administer on designated time in a staff meeting to allow for feedback, not only on the plan as a whole, but anything that we might be missing or maybe that we want to celebrate that looks like a strength or that reflects the community's input as a whole. And then we'll start to look at ways to measure this as well. So we're going to ask for staff feedback on how this can potentially be measured and what the outreach might look like from here. It's lofty. Right now we have 16 goals. We won't get into all of them because they may change a little bit from time to time. A lot of what Emily described and Jeremy helped us form, that sort of bedrock will likely remain in its place. The goals, though, are still a bit more half-baked, if you will. So a lot to come from this. It's like I said, it's big, and we're looking at possibly 3 and maybe even a 5-year plan out of this, given the loftiness of it. But it's super exciting. We are still on track for a May presentation to the board for final approval. we'll invite as many committee members as can make it to that meeting. We have another virtual session as a committee just to kind of check in and see the feedback from staff after we get it. But we're cruising ahead. We'll try to make it look pretty, of course. When it's finalized right now, it's in Arial font. So we'll work on that. I heard there's someone around here who's picky about that. Yeah. So, but we'll really try to market this because we do feel like it's reflective of the community, both inside the school district and outside. So we want to try to have those goals be met. And I think the more we put it out, the more accountable we are to those items as well. So very exciting. It's got a lot of good stuff in it.
Awesome, thank you. And I appreciate that you've put our agendas in Wingdings and Comic Sans.
Yes,
So it's really helpful.
yeah, good work there.
Gonna move on to the next item, which is the approval of minutes. May I have a motion?
I move that the board approve the minutes from February 19th, 2026 Board of Education regular meeting and February 19th, 2026 Board of Education closed session meeting.
Jordan?
Yes.
Glickman?
Yes.
Lonergan?
Yes.
Roth?
Yes.
Shear?
Yes.
Sturbins?
Yes. The consent agenda is our next item of business. The consent agenda includes the personnel report as posted with the agenda for this meeting, which includes employee recommendations, new hires, and resignations. Financial reports, which includes fund balances for February 26, and the statement of position report. Pay orders and expenditures, which includes accounts payable, statement of cash flow, and the P-card monthly report. Payroll report, policy second readings. Does any board member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda? No. If not, may I have a motion and a roll call vote to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I move that the board approve the consent agenda as presented by the board president or vice president.
Tomato.
Second. Glickman?
Yes.
Lonergan?
Yes.
Roth?
Yes.
Shear?
Yes.
Sturbins?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
The next item of business is informational reports and discussion items. Superintendent Grenz will provide us with an introduction and next steps.
Really, the only item we have here is the policy, our policy updates. So we've done a great job as a board, and you've done a great job of keeping the policies up to date. If you remember, Press 120 came out, and it had, I think, over 60 policy updates. Much of which was footnotes, legal references, etc. But we have gone through all of that. So we are now at a point where we can take a deep breath, and we will, at the April board meeting, we won't have any policies brought forth for that meeting, and we will wait what comes next, which will probably be just as lofty as the Press 120 update. So with that said, 6235, 6240, and 6280 have no changes. Those are more footnote related updates, nothing there. 6315 has just a minor update related to the expansion of opportunities for 7th and 8th grade students to earn high school credit. There are some legal references and footnotes that are updated there as well. 710, equal education opportunities. There is some updating related to students not being able to be denied education based on actual or perceived citizenship or immigration status. It's a timely topic. Update related to a law that was passed. No change in practice for us on that, just an update related to policy. 7290, suicide and depression awareness and prevention, something you heard mentioned a little bit at EdRed as well. It includes updates related to student education on mental health and mental illness, something we all take serious. Protocols for youth suicide awareness and prevention, something we all have training on as staff every year. And then a requirement that you may not be aware of, that employee ID cards for staff serving grades 6 through 12 have helpline information on the back of the IDs. We actually do this here staff-wide. So on the back of each one of our actual IDs, we have information should we need it for students who are in a state of crisis. So that's something that all staff in 68 have as well. We also have information on that in our staff handbook as well as our training as mentioned. 7310, just legal references and updates. related to AI. And nothing new on that you need to be aware of. It's just incorporating language to encompass it as it relates to restrictions on publication. 8100 relations with other organizations and agencies, no policy changes there. So I think honestly we've gone through, I want to say over 50 to 60 policies in the last several board meetings, but 10 to 15 each. So it's been a lot, some more minuscule than others, but our policy booklet now being online, available for everyone to see. It's also linked in the parent-student handbook that Dr. Samajegny and the team did a great job to organize. So we're really in a nice, easy to find space and has a lot of transparency as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to action items, the next item of business is the approval of the purchase of Phase 3 furniture as presented at the cost of $1,231,493.47. May I have a motion?
I move that the board approve the purchase of Phase 3 furniture as presented at the cost of $1,231,493.47.
Second. Second.
So this is the final phase of our learning environment journey over the last 3 years. This purchase will cover all the classrooms that have not previously received furniture, all of our encore special spaces, a lot of our small office spaces, our school psychologist offices, things of that nature. And then in addition, all of the new furnishings, including office furnishings for our early childhood education center. So we're very excited. We know it's a lofty price tag, but it does round out all of the planning that has gone into play over the last 3 years.
It's also so much more than an aesthetic improvement. When we talk about new furniture, this is not, an outfitting of a living room with new sofas and a coffee table. This allows for more collaborative learning in the classroom. Teachers can more quickly adapt and shift a classroom space to do, whether it be group settings or a more traditional setting if we need to do something related to testing. That's not easy when you have a 50-pound iron desk. So it really sets us apart as a school district, and I don't want us to take it for granted. It's something that I'm still quite shocked at when I walk through our spaces at just how beautiful our schools are. Not just our students, obviously, but the actual facilities themselves are absolutely exceptional, and it's something we really, really need to be proud of. So thank you for leading it. Thank you for supporting it.
And along with that, I just remember this was a topic before the pandemic.
Yes.
That we were talking about trying to update the learning spaces and then had to shift our whole mindset because we didn't know what learning spaces would look like.
Yes.
And I just, as a board member through all this, I really appreciate the agility and how much people were able to pivot so many times to get to this point. So thank you and everyone that worked on this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm just as curiosity, this isn't so much a math problem, but I do know how much we appreciate the Title I
Yes.
funding, and I imagine, trying to divvy up the $70-some thousand into the four school projects. Was that, I'm looking at these numbers and I'm seeing a 19K, a 17K, was it proportional to the, the overall amount of the funding needed or to the size of the building? I mean, how did you decide how to break up the Title I funding?
It really is just dependent on the actual very specific furniture that I could cover under a title. So things like small group tables for small group instruction, tables for small group instruction, say that again, rephrase it. Some of the chairs and stools that kind of go along with that, some of the storage pieces for teacher materials or student materials. I can't cover everything under a title. It has to be aligned to our needs assessment that we conduct, which is part of the pre-planning and the consolidated district plan. And so by each building, it just was dependent on how many rooms were getting those pieces of furniture. So it just was the way the math kind of laid out.
And what is the like oversight, so, Title I asks us to confirm before we get the money or after we get the, the funding that it's being used for these appropriate kinds of furniture in these spaces, just what's the,
So I'm responsible for tracking all title purchases and knowing where each piece of equipment or books or any materials that are spent, where they are located. We actually have to write that in the grant as well. And then in terms of accountability with the state, if we were to ever be audited, then I would need to be able to show all of that.
so you put it in the written grant and then we do our business and we just have our receipts literally
Yes.
if we're audited.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I figured,
Yes.
I just, I wanted to see, because it's, obviously it's a modest amount compared, but I figured there had to be a methodology behind it.
Yes.
It's to the penny, it rejects it if you don't have it exact. And they analyze it, and they've done a great job in the last 3 years of increasing their attention to that information. So yeah, it's literally nickel and dime, penny to dime.
Yeah,
Penny to nickel.
the language in the grant, they will send it back if they don't like language that they even approved last year. I'll repeat the same language and year two, they don't like the language anymore. So they're very finicky in particular. And so, that's fine because I am then certain to stay tuned into that language that they were requesting, and I know exactly what I need to maintain my record, how I need to maintain my records for any future questions.
Thank you.
They're less scrutinizing on fonts though.
There's no font selection in the grant.
Local control.
Application.
Anything is possible, to distinguish between who gets the money and who doesn't, so if they want a certain font, use it.
Right?
Thank you, Christine.
Lonegro?
Yes.
Roth?
Yes.
Shear?
Yep.
Sturbins?
Yes.
Bill Jordan?
Yes.
The next item of business is the approval of 3 overnight field trips, including outdoor education field trips at Camp Timberley for May 26 and May 27, and Old Orchard Junior High's Science Olympiad team at the state championship on April 18, 2026 in Champaign, Illinois. May I have a motion?
I move that the board approve the 3 overnight field trips as presented.
Seconded.
Yeah, go ahead, Christy. This is really exciting. We do the overnight field trips with outdoor ed, but I'll let you just chime in a little bit.
Yeah, so policy 6240 does actually request that we come to you for approval of any overnight trips or trips, I think, that extend beyond 200 miles. And so we are coming to you this year for outdoor ed. For this year's trip, which will take place in early May, and then also for next year's trip, because we typically sign the contract for the following year at the conclusion of the current trip. And then in addition to that, our Science Olympiad students at Old Orchard have progressed to the state level championship, and so we are really super excited about that. That takes place in a month, so they don't actually give you very much time to notice, time to plan, but that would be an overnight trip because the kids are going down to Champaign, and the competition starts pretty early in the morning, which would, if they did not go down the night before, necessitate probably leaving at 3 in the morning, so probably not a great thing for their brain power to win the competition. So yeah, our request is for approval of these 3 overnight trips.
Thank you.
We did the motion.
We did the motion.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, can you say it again? Sure. I move that the board approve the 3 overnight field trips as presented.
And I still second.
Sure. Shear?
Yes.
Sturbins?
Yes.
Bill Jordan?
Yes.
Wickman?
Yes.
Lonegro?
Yes.
Roth?
Yes.
Well, the next item of business is entering into the closed session of the board. May I have a motion?
Sure, I move that the board enter into closed session for the following items: the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in a park, recreational, or educational setting, or specific volunteers of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee, a specific individual who serves as an independent contractor in the park, recreational, or educational setting, or a volunteer of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. However, a meeting to consider increasing compensation to a specific employee of a public body that is subject to a local government wage increase transparency act may not be closed and shall be open to the public and posted and held in accordance with this act. 5, Illinois CS 122C.
Second. Rock,
Yes.
Shear,
Yes.
Sturbins,
Yes.
Bill Jordan,
Yes.
Vickman,
Yes.
Lonagro.
Yes.